Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It's 5 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Today, I'd like to talk to you guys about what I expect from the rest of this year. Maybe what you guys expect. See what you guys expect. If you want to tell me, put it in the comments. I don't like to come on here. I'm a positive person. You know, the last 14 years of my life being in recovery, everything. I truly believe that. I believe in the law of attraction. You know, you put out positivity and good vibes, good deeds, and you get it back. You draw back to you what you put out. I believe that. So I don't want to come on here and talk all doom and gloom. And another thing too is when you talk about YouTube channels, the purpose of mine is I would like to do something. I don't want to just come on here and complain and just come on here and complain and bitch and moan about everything that's wrong with the country, but come up with some ideas, solutions. Even if it's something that doesn't come to pass, for me, creating solutions or thinking of different solutions makes me feel better. And when you feel better, things turn around. All right, talking about the rest of this year. I've talked to you guys about this before. I've talked to you guys about this a lot. And I saw it on Bo's channel too, where he was talking about China. Or basically Trump's plan. He knows he's down in the polls. This is what we can expect from the rest of this year. There's not much left of this year, but up until November at least. He knows he's down in the polls. He knows what his base wants. His whole selling point is law and order. So we see what he has here in Portland. I believe what's going to happen is he's going to create more of this situation. The more of these troops, these officers that he puts out in the field, the more there's going to be a response from more and more just average Americans against this. This is just something that's unacceptable in American cities. But the way he's going to spin it, and a lot of the Republicans are going to spin it, he's going to spin it as, you know, the time of Biden is getting closer, and thank God I'm here to put these people down. It's, you know, we got to have law and order. In other words, I think he's just going to continue to create the situation, making it worse, but selling it to his base as he is the solution. And, you know, thank God he's there to put a stop to this, all the while being a big part of the whole reason it's happening. And then the outside influence, China. Trump's supporters are xenophobic, you know, and we have the coronavirus. It's hurting him in the polls. It's hurting Americans. It's killing Americans. He's going to need a scapegoat. Without a doubt, he is going to need a scapegoat. There's no way he's going to be reelected unless he puts the blame on somebody else. Who was he going to put the blame on? Fauci, scientists, and China. That's it. And in China, like I've talked to you guys before about China, we see it happening now. Okay, the supposed spy. Look. I mean, the bottom line is we know it's part of the game. The United States, Russia, China, we all have spies. This is how it works. This is, you know, it's nothing new. Trump and his administration going after this one scientist is they're trying to make it appear that this is out of the norm. Yeah, I'm sure China probably is trying to steal stuff, you know, tech stuff from us. Just like I'm sure, you know, if you don't believe that the U.S. isn't doing the exact same thing to Israel, to South Korea, to Russia, to China. You know, if you don't think we're doing the exact same thing, then you're naive. And by Trump and his administration picking out this one scientist and chasing him down, taking him into custody, It's making it look like he was doing something out of the norm. And I don't believe he was. Yeah, he was. He probably was spying, just as there's probably hundreds of other spies, ours and other ones, all across the world. Again, it's Trump trying to demonize China. I think we're going to hear a lot more of this selling point. They're going to try to sell it as, China. Well, there's a possibility that it might not have come from by accident from food. Just as long as they could put that out there, Trump and his supporters are going to need someone to blame for this, without a doubt. And it's just going to get worse over the coming months. Like I said, and I hate to be the doom and gloom guy, but there's no way around this. I think the lower that Trump goes in the polls, the worse it'll get. The more he's going to ramp up the rhetoric against China, which could lead to it. Look where we're at now. We've pretty much entered the Cold War phase right now. Next move would be to we're going to kick out all of China's diplomats. They're going to kick out all of our diplomats, and then we'll cease all diplomatic functions between the two countries. That's the next step. Probably very close, right on our doorstep. After that, wouldn't take much. Wouldn't take much at all. Just any little accident. Each country gets ramped up in their defenses. All it would take, if one airliner got mistaken for a military jet, it'd be the start of World War III. And the thing here is, I believe Trump supporters would be all in for it. I've heard this from other Trump supporters before. I've asked them, how can you be so, it's like they don't mind war. Like, let's do it. Let's go to war. Let's send our troops in. Let's bomb the hell out of them. And, I asked them, how can you be, and these are the people that claim to be evangelical, to be all about God. And that's part of it, though, because I've had Trump supporters, girls I dated, tell me that, they're ready to go home to Jesus. If that's the way it's going to be, that's what it says in Revelations, they're all for it. They're ready to die. They're ready to die for Trump. I swear to God, that's what I've heard. It's a scary mindset. So, like I was saying, I don't want to create this doom and gloom atmosphere. And the thing is, too, like I said, the more that Biden goes up in the polls, the more it looks like he's going to win over the next 3 months, the worse it's going to get. The worse the rhetoric against China and possible military action. Any military action between us and China is going to be an all-out nightmare for the whole world, without a doubt. There's no freaking winner there. And here in the country, the lower Trump goes in the polls, the more he's going to sell the fact that we need him, against the boogeymen. You got to have the boogeymen that he's going to protect us against. So the lower he goes in the polls, the more troops he sends. He sends his people to his officers, whatever you want to call them, to another city. It ramps up. When it ramps up, because Americans don't want this, he'll say, look, you need me. Look at these anarchists. I've got to put them down. If we let this go, this is where the country's going to go with Biden. And it's just amazing. It's a vicious circle. And the Trump supporters don't see that they're living in this America right now. Like I said in another video, I think Biden will, without a doubt, would provide one thing that he can provide is stability. I truly believe that. That's one thing we've been sorely missing over the last 3.5 years, is stability. I think, if there's one thing that Americans want right now, it's stability. Some type of normalcy. Where you can start planning a future, something again. I think, I believe Biden could provide that. So, not a rosy future for the next 3 or 4 months. I think it's Like I said, I think the farther down Trump goes in the polls, the worse it's going to be. But on the good side, in 3 more months, we could vote him out and look forward to some stability again in the country. All right. You guys have a good Monday.